Hi, I'm Dr. Kristal Vance, and I want to talk to you about why you want to give me 90 days to have success with the drops. Insulin resistance is what we're really working with when we're utilizing the drops as a tool. So, how does insulin resistance work? Here's a picture for you. I want you to imagine the sunshine that a kindergartner would draw. It's the circle with the little pokies or the rays that stick out from the side. Well, that is the exact same image to think of when you're thinking of your cells in your body. And normally, those little rays or the pokies um, are what we would call receptors for the cell. And they are drawing in all the nutrients, all the hormones, all of the substances and chemicals that you need to be healthy. Well, what happens as the more often we have sugar, our body in return creates insulin, and insulin is then put into the cells so that we can absorb the sugar and convert it to energy. Now, there's two ways that we make energy, but sugar is primarily the main one that we use, which is why your body craves sugar. So you're like, I'm trying to be so strong willpowered and have motivation, and yet you keep craving these sugary things. Well, that's how your body creates energy. The thing is we become more insulin resistant, meaning the more sugar we have, the more insulin builds up in our system. And that insulin hangs out on those little pokies. Well, when they hang out there, what ends up happening is they start to block the pokies from absorbing all the nutrients that's in your blood, and that you're eating right, you're doing all the right things, yet none of it's getting into the cell. So you could go and have lab work done and it says you're normal, and you're like, that doesn't make any sense because I don't feel normal. Well, if we could get the insulin to drop off of those pokies, then we would be able to start to absorb those nutrients. This takes about 90 days. And the further down the pre diabetic or diabetic path we are, the longer it takes for this to happen. It can sometimes even be over a year for someone who's in full fledged diabetes. But there's different things that we can do to speed up the process. So one is eating a low glycemic menu. So when you received your drops, you received this little booklet, or you can ask the person who got you your drops to get you another copy. And what's going to happen is as you eat low glycemic, meaning the food that you eat does not spike your blood sugar. That's what low glycemic means. So any foods that we take in that then turn into sugar in their final stages is going to spike our blood sugar. So we know the normals like sugary foods, processed foods. Fructose sometimes can be higher on the glycemic index, but there are fruits that we can use that your body it has enough fiber that your body can overcome the fructose. One thing it does struggle with is lactose. And in this day and age of dieting, most diets pull out sugar. Makes sense, right? Because that, if it's not used, turns into fat. We don't like the fat, and we keep focusing on burning the fat. But what if we rolled it back and we dealt with the insulin that's on the pokies, keeping your body from burning the sugar and the insulin correct? So as you eat low glycemic, we're going to keep your blood sugar from spiking. If you can give me 90 days, you will not believe the difference it makes. Now, the drops are going to become a really handy tool for you because they're going to support your blood sugar levels, but they're also going to support your entire endocrine system. This is a big deal because it helps to keep how your body works with cortisol, keeping your stress levels lower. It's going to help your thyroid to function as it should. All of the 9 different organs that are a part of your endocrine system are supported when you're utilizing bottle 1 and bottle 2 from the drops. So if you were to eat something that spikes your blood sugar, it's going to take 3 days for your body to get that back out of your system. So, although that one Oreo seems like not that big a deal when you're used to eating the whole package, it makes a difference, 3 days difference. So, if you can give me 90 days of doing your best to keep your blood sugar level, using the drops 3 times a day, so that it supports you as well. You don't have to be as perfect, but the more close to low glycemic you are, the faster the results you're going to get. So use your drops, eat as close as you can to a low glycemic menu, and you are going to knock all of the insulin off of those pokies, and your body is going to start to turn your metabolism back on. You're going to naturally start to burn the fat. That's what we're looking for. Not only that, we want you to get all those non-scale victories that maybe we don't pay so much attention to. I want you to pay attention to those. This is so much more than dropping weight. In fact, some of you may not even need to lose weight. You're dealing with the hormone imbalances, the hot flashes, the night sweats, the out of control cravings. You're going to see your body start to function correctly. But that means doing your best for 90 days. So go ahead and get the supplies that you need. Get an accountability partner, grab a couple friends with you, give yourself 90 days, and you are not going to believe the difference when we get all of that insulin out of your system. Now, some people are doing that with things like Ozempic and Wegovy. And of course, you could use this in correlation with it. We just want to make sure your blood sugar doesn't get too low, because then we have a whole nother set of issues. But this is the natural solution to what others are using when utilizing those shots. So, wouldn't you rather do it naturally and in the long term, after 90 days, not have to be on the drops all the time, but they're always a tool in your tool bag that you can use at any time? I personally, going into premenopause, am very thankful for the drops. I'm using them daily. I have people that have been using them for years. They're just nutritional support. Now, for a long time, I used them about once a year. So this isn't something you have to be on forever. This is your opportunity to stop dieting. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't it be great to not have to worry about all of the things that you've been spending your mind thinking about? So 90 days is worth it to have a lifetime of results.